Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Monson Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. We are live on YouTube and Facebook, and we are ready to share all kinds of fun news from our city, state, and government. We have a couple of events to discuss. I have a little bit of a report on yesterday's spotlight interviews, and also a report on our wonderful dining experience at Rico Indian. We had such a great time. So this is going to be mostly a feel-good broadcast. So I hope you're ready to welcome some feel-good vibes in this nice, warm May day. It is May the 15th. Oh, and today is Teacher's Day here in Mexico. We're going to touch base on that so that you can go and congratulate and hug any teachers that happen to be in your life. So as always, if you're watching live for the first time, it would be great if my button pushing machine was not stuck. Let me unstuck it. If you have something important to say, please add a capital letter Q to your comment, and we'll be so very happy to bring it up later on in the broadcast. And if you are watching live for the first time, it would be a pleasure to welcome you. Give us a chance to do that by adding a capital letter N in your comment, N as in new, and we'll just give you a nice little friendly welcome to the cluster. We start with news, and of course, we start with good news. Mayor Luis Munguia led the signing of a collaboration agreement with the Jalisco State Government's Internet Access and Connectivity Agency with the goal of expanding free internet access through the Jalisco network. Thanks to this agreement, Puerto Vallarta will have more than 300 free connection points distributed in strategic locations such as schools, public buildings, plazas, and key tourist areas, including the Malecón. This initiative responds to the growing need for connectivity for school, work, recreational, and tourism activities, thus strengthening citizens' digital inclusion. Now, I do know that there's already some free internet in the city. I don't rely on it because I have my own access through my network, through my cell phone plan, but I wonder if anybody has used it and if it's any good. What are your experiences with free internet in public plazas in Puerto Vallarta? If you've had that experience, I look forward to your comment. And moving on, it takes more to being a charro than wearing a pretty hat. The Municipal Sports Council has opened applications for its new Charreria Sports Initiation School. This will be a training space that seeks to instill the values of Mexican pride, tradition, and discipline among girls, boys, and young people of Vallarta. It offers classes for children and young people ages 8 to 18, and the sessions will be held on Mondays and Wednesdays in the evenings at the Charro Ibarria Arena, which is where the Charro Championships usually take place. And I have another news item to share. As part of Vallarta Pride of this year, the March Against Homophobia will take place this Saturday, May the 17th. This peaceful demonstration is organized by collectives, activists, and allies of the LGBTQI community with the support of the government led by Mayor Luis Munguia. The march, of course, is part of the commemoration of the National and International Day Against Homophobia and aims to highlight the struggles and realities of sexual, gender, and diversity. It also seeks to raise awareness about the importance of building an egalitarian environment free of hate, exclusion, and discrimination. If you want to be part of this march, which should not be confused with the Gay Pride Parade, the march begins at 6 p.m. in front of the stadium near the Sheraton Hotel, continuing into town and usually ending at Parque Lázaro Cárdenas. Again, this will begin at 6 p.m. this coming Saturday. And now let's turn our attention over to our snarky weather friend to see what is going on in the weather department. Oh, snarky weather says our long national nightmare of having to call a popular streaming service Max is finally over. I did read through the grapevine that HBO Max was changing names once again. I don't care. All I care is having access to wonderful shows like The Righteous Gemstones. I need to schedule a viewing of the final season. It is such a hysterical show. Anyhow, it is 28 degrees out there. It says here that humidity is only at 47%. That is a weird number because it seems unusually low for this time of year. And our weather forecast says that we're going to enjoy clear skies in the morning with partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 32 and a low of 18. Then tomorrow, we can expect a humid day with clear skies, a high of 31 and a low of 19. And finally, Saturday, we can expect a humid day with mostly clear skies, a high of 30 and a low of 20. Now, as I mentioned earlier, today is Teachers' Day in Mexico. So, in accordance with the Ministry of Education, there will be no classes today. If there are teachers in your life, make sure that you wish them a happy day. And I now want to give you a little report of what happened yesterday. Yesterday was a great afternoon because I went to the Joint Boutique Hotel to record interviews for the Spotlight. And of course, I first interviewed Amy and Sargento Dan, who had never worked together on a project. I mean, they've sung up together here and there, but they put together this show called Happy that is going to take place next week at Nacho Daddy. And it was just great to see friends of mine to getting to know each other better through music. And I will air the interview between now and Saturday. Well, tomorrow or Saturday, I'm not sure. But this is going to be a one-time show. And they're proud to say that. So it's going to be a special experience to be with them. And I asked them, I want to give away a little fun spoiler, or actually more of a creative musical challenge. Their only accompaniment is going to be by Mimi, the guitarist. So it's going to be Mimi playing guitar, Amy and Sargento singing. And so it's going to be a lovely little acoustic set, which is bound to be really, really wonderful. And then, of course, I also interviewed the amazing Sonny Rossi, who is the president of the Vallarta Garden Club. And it was a great interview because she provided me with a lot of the back history of how over 10 years, I mean, it's going on 15, I forget, the Vallarta Garden Club started beautifying sidewalks in the Emiliano Zapata and then other parts of the city. You would think, and this is not a criticism, well, maybe it's more of an observation. You would think that our city would have endless resources to look after plants, public plants in public places, and change them and feed them and nurture them. You'd be surprised at how much of that work gets done by volunteers through the Vallarta Garden Club. So we will get to know more about these pursuits as soon as I edit the interview. And what great timing for this conversation to take place with Sunny, because yesterday, after we taped the interviews, I headed over. Excuse me. That's a frog that I'm going to get rid of right now. Frog is gone. Thank you. Of course, I headed over to Rico, India on the island and to enjoy a wonderful get together with friends. And it was such a great opportunity to celebrate what we try to do here at Coffee and Headlines, which is to create nurturing connections. Let me explain. For starters, there were 9 of us dining together at Rico Indian. And I'm sure you're thinking, oh my God, it must have been so hot. And no, it wasn't. It was very comfortable because Mohnish, the owner of Rico Indian, makes it comfortable with ceiling fans that are strategically located. So we had a lovely early evening dinner at 5:30. Again, it was 9 of us, and the vast majority of the people present for dinner had never been to Rico Indian before, and they loved the meal. So that's a connection. And then I had the pleasure of meeting cluster members in person. One, two, three people that showed up. I had never had the pleasure of meeting for the first time. So that was a great connection. And then, of course, after we had a wonderful meal together, we were witness of a tradition that Monish um, takes part of every single day. At a specific time, Monish takes some food or sets aside food that is specially prepared for the cats at the island. So we had a chance to see Monish feeding the cats, and I want to share a short video with you where he's doing this. And then he showed us this amazing cat playground that they are building with repurposed bamboo for the cats to play and to be safe in case somebody is chasing them or some other animal like raccoons are chasing the cats. Take a look at this short video.
And I found out every cat in Mexico looked like that.
Yeah.
They're still special.
Some of them are like a little more antisocial than the others.
There we go. Oh,
You're right.
Aww. So 9 of us, Coffee and Headlines cluster members, have just enjoyed a most wonderful dinner and are looking at this tradition that Monish, the owner of Rico Indian, has going on, in which he feeds these cats every single day. And the cats know exactly what time to expect to be fed, and it is just adorable. And I'm not touching any one of them because I know that I will want to bring somebody home. Monish, tell us what's going on here.
Well, the idea is to create a little safe space because sometimes there are like stray animals, sometimes dog, whoever they attack cats. So the idea is to actually create this little bamboo thing they like to climb on and create these little huts. So then when they perceive some dangers, they can just jump up and escape them. And they actually quite like it. So first we had it till here. Now we're extending it till here. And our plan is to actually just kind of have this go all over, like multi-dimensional, like a little above ground safe haven for them to sort of jump up and play. So if you come during the day, you will see them snoozing around there.
What would you
It's pretty
say?
good.
What would you say to someone who has not yet enjoyed Rico Indian and should come here?
Well, try it. It's something new. It's not something that you kind of encounter on a daily basis, but according to me, it's a lost art that people have kind of forgotten what a good meal feels like, and what it could do to your body and how it can make you come alive. And I still believe in that, and that's what I'm trying to offer here.
So that was Monish, the owner of Rico Indian. hats off to him and his staff. He was so kind and generous to us. He offered us a complimentary beverage as a welcome, and he put in a couple of dishes on the table for people to try. I have never tried. There was this lovely lady that I'd never met before, also from India, and she was tasting what he prepares, this Indian lemonade, and I was totally curious about that. Didn't get to try it, but now I want to go back to sample Mohnish's Indian lemonade. So uh, check it out. You know, we celebrated through our meal the pleasure of showing up and stretching out our comfort level and having experiences that we are not usually comfortable with or maybe familiar with. So it was a great afternoon of giving and sharing and connecting. And of course, on the way back, we walked back to Insurgentes along the Isla, and at dusk, everything looked so beautiful. I mean, the work that the garden club is doing, and there are other people also involved in beautifying the Isla Rio Quale, was easy to take in. I mean, take a look at this photograph. This is our Isla Rio Quale. They've put these lanterns on parts of the path. So I'm sure that if you have to, oh my God, here she is, Sumana. What a pleasure to meet you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this is what the Isla Rio Quale is looking like right now. And it's not even raining. I mean, the volunteers take such good care of the isla and make sure that the water gets to the plants are well fed and whatnot. And I can only imagine how wonderful everything is going to look like once the rain starts. So this is what I bring to the table today. I now would love to see what you guys are up to. Let's have a quick look. Let's see. Lots of good mornings as usual, which I very much appreciate. Uh, Hello, Clemmy. I'd like to say hello just because I love your name, Clemmy Rice. I like that. And hello to our live YouTube viewers. It's great to see you. Purum pum pim, punky punky punky, punky punky punky. Um, Look at all of you. Tim Beford. Tim thinks that's a great idea. I'm not sure exactly what is the great idea because, as you know, I don't read the comments in sync with you guys. But Tim, if you think it's a great idea, I'm going to go with that. Amen. Let's see what else. This is an important point, and Sherry is correct. Using one's own data, unfortunately, is safer than using public Wi-Fi. I once used public Wi-Fi on an ETN bus to Guadalajara, and I got hacked. So as much as I appreciate having the ETN providing free internet, I don't take advantage of that, but I do love the fact that there's an AC plug under most seats on the ETN buses, so I can charge my iPad and my iPhone while I'm traveling. Let's see. Yes, first rains of the season, Logan. Keep your fingers crossed. I will do the same. And you're correct, Barbara. This is a fabulous idea. I mean, charreria is the national sport of Mexico. And we tend to think about it as just entertainment, but there is a lot of discipline that needs to be learned and applied when it's time to control a horse in a rodeo situation. So I think it's wonderful that Puerto Vallarta will have its own school, and it'll be fun to see how that develops. Let's see. Here's an enthusiastic hola from Ron. Hola, Ron. I hope you're doing great. Let's see what else. Oh my God, Barbara. Sunny is amazing. And I have to say, we both got a little emotional towards the end of the interview because, you know, I've been here for 23 years. And I remember what some of the popular streets in Emiliano Zapata looked like before those gorgeous bougainvilleas and planters and whatnot. So I hear you. I hear you. I can't wait to edit it. And yes, the real quality cats, they're absolutely wonderful. Um, and you are absolutely correct, Karen. It was a fantastic way to end our meal. Again, hats up to everyone at Rico India for providing us with such a memorable experience. Um, dun, dun, dun. Oh, I totally recommend it, Laura. Not only is Monish a wonderful man, his food is delicious, and there's just such a good vibe going on at Rico Indian, and what they do for the cats is absolutely wonderful. Uh, Sumana, again, what a pleasure to meet you. Sumana is a new friend from India that, along with her husband, purchased a condo here in town, and she's busy writing a thesis. So she loves the peace and quiet that she has down here. It was fascinating to converse, and thank you for that. I'm gonna try to say it. Shikanji is the Rico Indian lemonade. Now I am totally intrigued. If I hadn't been so full with all that wonderful food, I would have ordered one just to try. But I'll definitely go with one. For better or worse, the special margaritas were 50 pesos each, and I went with one of those, and it was delicious. Pum, purim, pum, pum, pururum, pum, pum. The island does look charming now after all these years. It's nice that it is being better taken care of. And it's also nice that the garden club, as you will find out in the interview that we created yesterday, the city is finally paying attention to what the garden club is doing. So it's not only a gringo or English speaker pursuit. Now, Mexican nationals are also getting involved. I learned yesterday that the woman in charge of the Quale Cultural Center is now. I could be wrong, but I think Sunny said that she's now part of the board of directors at the Vallarta Garden Club. And this is a very important liaison between the local government and this nonprofit organization. And here is Moniz. Thank you. Thank you so much. The bug repellent is mine, but pay no mind. I left my bug repellent in the restaurant. Use it. Use it. I'm sure other people attract the bugs just like I attract the bugs. What a wonderful evening we had. Thank you so much for that, Monish. And yes, my friend, please let me know when your husband is in town if we have the opportunity to connect. I know that your time here is going to be limited before you head elsewhere, but if we have time to connect, it would be a pleasure to nurture this new friendship and new connection that we began yesterday. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of today's broadcast. As always, what a pleasure to share good vibes and good connections with those that are willing to receive them. Have a great day. Thank you for everything you do to keep us here every single day. Thank you for the word of mouth that you use to nurture our projects and increase our awareness. And we'll have more coffee and headlines tomorrow morning. Have a great day.